On holidays, travel is the downside. You struggle with luggage and crowds, you endure hours of tedium to finally arrive at a destination and start to enjoy yourself. But for many people who catch the Ghan, which runs between Adelaide and Alice Springs, travel is the holiday. They choose to spend 22 hours in a train crossing half a continent when they could fly it in 2.
We've been wanting to do it for years, but just finally decided to take the plunge this year and go. So we got a booking and we built the rest of the holiday around it. The Ghan was sort of the catalyst of the whole thing, you know.
For Bob Beard and his wife Gay, a train trip across the desert is an adventure.
We've been lucky enough to travel quite a lot in Australia, but we usually fly, mainly because of time and convenience, really. But I think this train can go all the way to Darwin. As far as I'm concerned, today I'll be relaxed.
Gute Reise quer durch Australien.
The Ghan attracts tourists from all around the world to pay $395 for a first-class ticket. That's $64 more than the basic airfare. It's not too hard to see the attraction. The first-class section doesn't just have bars, it has entire lounges. And while any sort of train travel is cramped, the accommodation seems to defy dimensions. Well, this is the larger of the first-class rooms, a twinette. Now, it not only has a couch, which doubles as a second bed, but it even has a wardrobe, a table, and a bathroom. Complete with your very own towels, your very own basin, toilet, and even a shower. Up the back of the train in the economy section, the feeling is more XPT than Orient Express. The seats are large, but they're also where the passengers sleep. Economy passengers pay a third of the first-class fare, and the reason most travel on the Ghan has little to do with the romance of locomotion.
Cheaper, basically, yeah.
You weren't attracted to go on a famous train journey, or?
I didn't know it was a famous train journey until you just told me.
But even among the sit-ups, there's a sense that this trip could be a little out of the ordinary.
The kids have never been on a train, they've never been this far away from home, so we thought it's a lot easier for them to move around and enjoy the trip than being cramped up on a bus. And I didn't want to drive by myself, so we thought we'd come on the train.
The entertainment car is the dividing line between first class and sit-up class, and the one place where both classes mix together. As everyone rattles along, they can destroy enemy aircraft or watch a video.
Here, let me demonstrate on air.
Passengers can also indulge in that great Australian leveller, the pokies. They can even visit the hairdressing salon.
This is the only one in Australia that I know of. Yeah.
Is it more difficult to cut someone's hair like this?
No, not really. My first haircut was probably the worst, I think. It's probably the hardest. I think I was more nervous than anything that I'd cut someone in the ear or...
And did you?
No, I haven't yet. Not yet.
Behind the scenes, there's an organised frenzy.
So we do 144 passengers, and there's a 5-course meal. So it keeps us on our toes. We do this 3 times a day.
You ever had any spills, Peter?
Only once ever, and then we didn't have too much of a spill at that. It was not too bad. Everybody was happy anyhow after.
So you get your balance after a while, do you?
Oh, yes, we have our sea legs. We get around. Now, madam, yours was the chicken schnitzel and the roast beef and husband. Thank you.
By the end of the third sitting, the mood on the train starts to mellow. Those expecting a party find themselves going to bed after night falls. The rhythm of the travelling takes over. The train sleeps.
Morning, girls.
Morning.
Here we go.
First-class passengers are woken gently after a generally relaxing sleep. Sit-up passengers just sit up. Breakfast for the sit-up passengers is at the cafeteria at the rear of the train. At the other end, first-class passengers begin their second banquet.
Gee, I'm making more runs than Greg Chappell today. Now, folks.
By now, the trip is nearing its end. As beautiful as it is to eat breakfast looking over the desert, some are already looking toward Alice Springs.
All the boys want to see is clear, vast views of red sand. That's their idea of the desert. So when we come across that, it might interest them a bit more. I think they're probably starting to get a bit fidgety now. 22 hours will be just right for them.
The route follows the path of the Afghan camel drivers who for many years were the only regular transport to Alice Springs. But even in the early days of the rail service, the trip was precarious. Engine breakdowns, broken sleepers or flooding could leave passengers stranded for days.
It used to be a raffle. Either you got there or you didn't. You know, you used to leave home and say, oh, well, I'll be back at the end of the week, maybe.
But for drivers like Neville Skin, a one-time endurance test has become an easy ride.
It's comfort now.
So we can be fairly well assured of getting into Alice Springs today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, the guard reckons about 11:30, 11:45 we'll be there.
My expectations were at a certain level. I think it's probably exceeded that a little bit because what Jim and I were saying a while ago is how the time's flown. And I think whenever you're having a good time, the time flies, and that's exactly what's happened. I haven't seen the boys for the 22 hours apart from putting them to bed and having a sleep. And the wife and myself have enjoyed both meals on the train. And the pity of it all is that we think is that we would like to go on to Darwin by the train. Of course, the train line's not there, but it'd be great if it was, because I think the second day on a two-day trip would be really excellent.